Okay, I am going to be canning up just over 9 pounds of lean ground beef. I'm getting my jars washed up. I am washing 12. I don't know if I'll need that many, but I'll do that anyways. And I just put in about, 2 teaspoons of onion powder. This is all the garlic powder I have left, which is probably about a teaspoon. So I'm just going to throw that in there, get that all in, and then I'm going to add some Redmond's fine salt, most likely about a tablespoon. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to brown this up, but very lightly. I'm just going to do it until most of the pink is gone, and then I'm going to pack the jars. Okay, so I've got my jars washed up, but because I am doing hot meat, I need hot jars and a hot canner. So I have my canner on about 3.5, 4, like a medium low. It's been heating up for a little bit here, so we want to get it warm so that when we put the jars in, they don't crack or anything. I'm just going to add a splash of vinegar in there, and what that's going to do is help the jars not to cloud up with all the stuff from the tap water. When I can, if I do use liquid in my jars, I only use filtered water, or in my case I use reverse osmosis. I never use tap water in my canning jars because of the chlorine and the fluoride and who knows what else is in there. So this is getting to the point where it's almost not pink anymore, a couple more minutes. So once that happens, I'm going to start filling my jars. But first, I am going to turn all these jars right side up, and I'm going to fill them with hot water so that it keeps the glass hot. Okay, I take out usually 2 jars at a time, keeps them nice and warm. And I'm taking a slotted spoon, and I'm going to drop this burger in here up to 1 inch head space, and just going to go over it with my pokey stick. I will take out some if I need to. Oh, guess I'm already poking some out of there. Yeah, I can adjust this with a spoon here in a bit. Pack it down lightly, not tight. There is no other liquid in here other than maybe a little bit of juice from the pan, but that is it. So then after that, you're just going to take your paper towel and a little bit of vinegar. Squeeze that out, and you're just going to go around the rim and make sure there is no burger on there or any grease from the burger, because that might affect the seal on your jar after it comes out of the canner. It might not seal. So now we're going to get a lid and a ring and put that on fingertip tight, a little tighter than I do here because I'm only using one hand. So yeah, and then into the canner it goes, and the water is getting nice and warm in there, so I'll come back when that's all filled up. All right, I have 8, 9, 10 pints in here and 1/2 pint. Now I am going to bring it up to temp so that it can push out all that steam for 10 minutes. And once it starts to spout, a really strong stream of steam coming out of that stack, and when this one is up, then you set your timer for 10 minutes. And after that's done, we'll come back. So the little stack just popped up, and now I'm just waiting for this stack here to spout a really nice steady stream of steam. And it's pretty much there. So what I'm going to do now is set the timer for 10 minutes. And the canner is going to push that air out for 10 minutes so that when it's time, then we can put the jiggler weight on. Now, at my elevation here in central Alberta, I'm at about 2,400 feet above sea level, so I have to use 15 pounds of pressure, and that will go on once the 10 minutes is up. So we'll be back and I'll show you what's next. Well, we're on the last 30 seconds of the 10 minutes for pushing that steam out. Doing really good. I'm getting ready to put on the weight. Make sure you check your elevation to see how many pounds of pressure you need to do. There we go, that's close enough. Okay, now I'm putting this on with my bare hand. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, use an oven mitt. Okay, there we go. Alright, now that'll probably take, I don't know, about 5 minutes, 7 minutes, something like that, for it to start jiggling. So we'll be back when that happens. And yeah, I just heard it starting. 3:17 now. Yeah, you can just hear it start. So once it starts rocking gentle and steady, then we're going to turn down the temperature a little bit and try to get it to the point where it's going to rock steady and gentle for the whole 75 minutes. So that's a nice rocking motion. Now I'm going to turn this down, do it slow. Might turn it down to about a 5, 5.5. And we're just going to try and keep it at this pace here. Just wait for a few more seconds and see. Because what you want to do is start your timer once it's rocking steady like that. Not going up and down like too fast or too slow. So that seems like it's going to stay there. I'm going to set the timer for 75 minutes, hour and 15 minutes. And once that timer is done, we're going to shut the stove off and we're just going to leave this alone. We're going to let it cool down all by itself. And once that little bobble pops down, then you can take off that. And then you wait for a few more minutes and then take the lid off and wait for about 10 minutes maybe. And then you can take your jars out and store them wherever you store them on a towel and leave them for, I would say, 18 hours to 24 hours. And then you can take off the bands, wash down your jars, and you can mark on them what's in it or just the date. I usually do the month and the year, so then I know when I made it, and yeah, and go from there. So that is it. I am going to end this video here, but there's going to be another, how many did I say? 8, 9, 10 jars of meat in my pantry for the winter, especially when the grid goes down. Excuse me. Or, you know, if times are tight and there's no money, or if there's no meat in the grocery stores, you got to make sure you got something put away. I noticed here that there's about 4 of my jars that did not seal, and they're still a little bit worn, but they're not going to seal. And I think that was because of the mishap I had this morning with the canner, or the timer. You know, I put the rocker on at the wrong time because I was talking to somebody on my phone. So, no loss. All you got to do is throw them in the fridge, use them up, or you can just put them in the freezer and use them for another rainy day. Anyways, that's it for today. I'll see you in the next video.